Rogue Record.
What's up, everybody? You're listening to Hustle Makes It Happen, a podcast about the grit, the determination, and the mindset that it takes to become a winner. Success is not an accident. It lives outside your comfort zone, in the trenches, where excuses are met by brick walls. So strap in, tighten up, and let's get ready to hustle. Boom.
Season 3.
That's the thing, man. That's the wrap up of season 3. We made it to the end.
Yeah, 3 seasons.
I didn't think we'd get here, to be honest with you. I think whenever we started the show, we didn't really have any thought into how long we were going to do this for, or how much work and effort we were going to put into it. But it's really become a labor of love, and now I'm addicted to it, and I want to keep doing it.
Yeah, the amount of for me, it's the exposure.
Yeah,
the guests that we get to sit next to and tap into their brains.
Yeah, not the exposure for us personally. It's the exposure that we get to our guests.
Yeah, for sure. And that's been super valuable, I believe, for my personal mindset.
Well, dude, we've talked about it in a couple of shows. Like, I legitimately try, and I think you can see it. I know you can, and I hope the people close to me can too. I legitimately try to take something from every episode we talk about and figure out how I can take those tips and tactics and techniques or whatever, and roll them into my own life. And I mean, I've taken something from almost every episode that we've done. I think we got like 36 episodes out across the 3 seasons, something like that total.
Right.
You know, some of those are wrap ups and intros and things like that. But I mean, I've really tried to take a little bit of everything we've talked about across all of our guests and plug little bits and pieces of it into my life. And I'm doing that as a proof of concept that what we talked about when we started the show, which was talking to everyday individuals that are out there grinding. You know, that we talk about that pyramid. We're not talking to Joe Rogan and Elon Musk and those guys. We're talking to the 10 to 15% of people that are just crushing the game. I mean, they're winning at their sphere, and it's because they've learned these habits and these traits and these mindset modalities and things that allow them to be successful on their level. And that's really inspiring. Everybody has something to offer, and we have something to learn from everybody.
I think some of the things that have, I'm not going to say shocked me, but gave me a little more steam was some of the people I've met this year throughout our local area that listen to our show that I didn't know listened to our show. Mm-hmm. And some of the feedback that we've gotten has been wonderful. I'm having conversations with people about their mental space, which I feel is not something that's prevalent around here.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about locally, but I'm talking about nationwide. People are not talking about their mental space and their mental health. And I'm not talking about just mental health. I'm talking about positive mindset, health, all of it. And some of these people are saying, man, I learned this from this guest, or this really struck a chord with me, and it made me evaluate some things. And that is what the show's about.
Yeah, I mean, that's where the value is at, right? The value is in taking all these different people from so many different industries and so many different backgrounds and trying to just thread them all together and show that the things that create that mental mindset environment in people are universal to everybody. I mean, if you look back at this season, we've had journalists, we've had musicians, we've had military leaders, we've had adventurers, we've had athletes, we've had coffee connoisseurs. I mean, it's such a broad range of people, but they all share this common thread and these common mindsets, and that's what we talked about whenever we started the show. That's what we wanted to put out, and I think that we're doing that, and we're showing that there's value in listening to all these different types of people.
Give me 2 things right now through season 3. Give me some like shocker moments, like something that you like made you scratch your head a little bit or made you think.
Man, you know, one of the things is about not quitting. You know what I mean? Some of the people that we've had on have gone through some things in their life and in their career and on their journey that, I mean, I would have folded. You know what I mean? I haven't developed the mental capacity to take on the amount of adversity that some of these people have had to take on.
So one of mine is exactly, it plays into what you just said. One of my shock and awe moments, and I know this person individually. So when Matt Bruce talked about the story that he went into LSU's locker room and back squatted and was being basically showboating in front of LSU football players, and his coach found out about it, flew him halfway across the United States to one of the most important meets of his life at that moment, and made him fail.
Made him fail.
On a stage in front of thousands of people in this convention center. Thousands of people. And like you just, I would have folded at that age.
Yeah. Or just been pissed off and quit.
Well, that's still, I mean, that's folding. I mean, you're throwing in the towel. This guy, like you say, he was crying in the hallway. He's getting his ass ripped in front of everybody. And then Monday morning, he walks back in the gym.
Yeah, he ate that little humble pie and came on back and did what he was supposed to do.
But then from that point became an Olympian.
Right. Yeah, it's that for me, and it's these risks. And this is not just in season 3. We've talked about this in season 2 and in season 1. The risk that is associated with success. I think being
Are you reading my mind right now?
I might be.
Because my second factor
was risk.
Is literally coffee concepts that this woman does not even like coffee and went
started $1
straight
million business
into the game of coffee and took a lot of risks in the fact that she didn't know shit about coffee.
And look, I'm not just talking about personal, like money risk, monetary risk either. I'm talking about, if you go back and think about what Tori said in her episode, Tori Acord, whenever she had her episode, she was like grossly uncomfortable in the space that she was trying to get into. It's like almost she was pressured into it. And then obviously, her friends were saying, man, you should come do this. You'd be really good at it. But she didn't have the self-confidence to go do that. And then her husband was there, and we talked about the importance of like having a support system and a good positive circle around you. But she took a personal risk and got outside of her own comfort zone from an exposure level and has blown that up into the success that she's seen across her industry.
What about tenacity? Like we just talked about before we walked in the room, the trickle effect of marketing and putting yourself out there. Like Thomas Kane, Lucy Kane, reach out to us, right? Because they like the show, they like the premise, they're hustlers, they come on, right? And then now they're knocking out intros for Bloody Ankle and all the, like, they're killing the game. They're opening up for things in the community soon. Like they made a phone call, they hit send on an email.
Yeah, they got uncomfortable. And look, I knew Lucy from back in high school. We haven't talked probably since the day I graduated high school. I mean, it's been 15 years since we spoke, and I don't.
What a dick.
I know. But she took the risk. Like she saw us out doing the podcast, and she said, "Well, hey, we're hustlers. Hold on, pay attention to us too." And I think that just goes to show that you got to be willing to take the step, and you got to be willing to get outside your comfort zone, put in the work, and that success follows. I think that is the universal truth about success, and that's why the show is called Hustle Makes It Happen, because you have to put in that, you have to take that step, take that risk, and then put that work in, and then things are going to start coming together.
So to talk about that, what I've learned from that is yesterday, we obviously have advertising spots for this show. We have a couple more that we want to fill. I sent out multiple emails and texts yesterday, heard a bunch of no's. Didn't hurt my feelings. Nothing changed because the pedal's still down.
That's right.
Right, and that's me learning, because normally you hear a bunch of no's and you're like, all right,
maybe this is a bad idea.
Yeah, I'm done. Yeah. I'm done sending. I'm done hearing the no. But it takes one yes.
That's right.
And I think a lot of our guests, it's embedded in them. Like it doesn't matter how many no's. I need the one yes.
Yeah. What about like tips, tactics, or techniques? Tell me some of those that you picked up during this season. Like what physical? We always ask our guests what one thing do you do every day that leads to your success, or what series of events do you do, or what specialty items do you have that motivate you or lead you to success? Tell me about some of those.
Yeah, Kieran. Her ability to be genuine in her delivery.
Yeah, just being unapologetically yourself.
Yes. That rang true to me through this year. She's such, I mean, she was getting the thumb pressed on her, and she put the middle fingers up and then went and created her own lane in this area and is killing the independent newscasting area. And I have a high respect for that woman in a lot of different ways. I like,
going back to Matt Bruce talking about holding everyone to the same standard. You remember whenever he was talking about
your football players,
professional athletes coming in to work out with Coach Hatch,
baseball players, football players that get this sense of. I'm not saying they get a sense of entitlement, but
they could. Right?
They grab this level of notoriety because of paychecks and status on a team, or because they're on TV. But like you said, he's making them work out with 8th graders.
Yeah. Well, that's just holding the same standard for everyone. You know what I mean? That's just to me, that's about personal accountability and creating that humble atmosphere where everybody that's in the gym is working towards the same goal. It might be on different levels, but it's all the same goal. You know what I mean?
Right.
And he has the same standard for everybody, regardless of what their skill level is, regardless of what their notoriety level is. I thought that accountability piece was big. And then one specific thing that I liked, and I'm calling myself out and I'm ashamed of it because I haven't done it yet, is Culp's vision board.
Yeah, I like that too. I think we need to do that for our business and personally.
He texted me like a week ago too. He's like, "You build your vision board yet?" And I was like, "Sir, no, I haven't. I'm sorry."
So I listened to his episode, not too long ago, right. And I really enjoyed that episode. I liked his mindset. I liked how calm he stayed in his delivery. He's kind of a laid back.
Yeah, he's laid back. He's just real even and just kind of matter of fact. You know what I mean? He doesn't get. I think it's taking time though, because I know the environment that he grew up in, right? And you do too. You know how the military environment is, but it's taken a lot of development for him to stay unemotional and calm in these leadership challenges that you face in the military, and he's transferred that into his life. But the vision board is one thing that I really like, and it's just about keeping your goals and your priorities in front of you all the time.
We talk about the military. We both have attachment to the military in different ways, but they're near and dear to our heart for what it's done for us and the service that we've done for our country. But John Paul, that dude is on, long time military not veteran, but he's a veteran now, but served in our military for a long time. But man, that dude's on another level, man. Yeah. He's out there, he's doing some wild shit, man.
I like it. I like following him on Instagram and Facebook too, just to see what he's got going on. Because it's interesting, man. The dude has, I don't want to say whenever you're in the military for that long that you become like a slave to the military. But honestly, like that becomes your life. If you're in the military for 25 years, that is your life. That is your identity.
It's your wife's life. Yeah, it's your kid's life.
You become kind of institutionalized. You know what I mean? And it's like whenever he got out, he broke all those chains.
In a
he just broke them, and it's like, I'm going to live my life for me.
If you haven't listened to his episode, please go back because you'll see what we're talking about. If you don't know who we're talking about, John Paul Corville, this guy's a nomadic, free living. Just he's living day by day and state by state and
just soaking in every moment of his life. That's what to me is so inspiring. Like this dude is creating these experiences for himself that the majority of us could only dream of. You know what I mean? And he's intentionally putting himself in tough spots and going out and, maybe he's making up for time. I don't know. It's just, I want to have another conversation with him because it seems like he's making up for the 25 years that he spent inside that Marine Corps bubble.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because that happens, man. And look, whenever you join the Marine Corps, you join the service, and you travel the world, on a ship or getting deployed to various locations. So you get to see a good bit of stuff, and maybe that kind of sparked his interest. But man, now he has just completely broken those shackles, and he's out.
I think it does, though, because some of the best parts, I believe, in my military career, as short as it was the kind of the nomadic, like visiting places and getting to immerse myself in that culture.
Yeah, no, I did the same thing. I mean, whenever I was over in 2021, I got to spend time in Jordan. I got to spend time in Qatar. I got to spend, and this is like the cradle of the earth. You know what I mean?
Right.
So to me, it was a very spiritual experience. I was actually baptized in the Jordan River while I was over there.
I remember that. Emotional, right?
Yeah, it's super emotional because you're like in the cradle of civilization, and you're getting to. I would have never had that experience had it not been for the military.
It's awesome.
But it's also driven in me the desire to go back there.
Yeah.
Or go see other things in the region, or go to different regions and see their history and because you think the United States is old. Like, we'll go to Philadelphia and see the Liberty Bell and we're like, oh my God, this is old.
Yeah.
Go to Petra.
Right.
That's old.
Yeah, we're real close with Bryn, I think, to her making the team, and it'll be in August of 23, and it'll be in Venezuela, and that's a part of the world I haven't got to travel to yet. So I'm like super excited just to go and immerse myself in that culture and see the people and the food and the environment. And so, you want to go?
No. Yeah. Oh, to Venezuela? Yeah, I'm down, man. I'm fully down. I don't know why I said no. You want to go? No.
Nope, void.
No, I'm coming.
So let's talk about something else that I feel that it's preached on the show, accountability, right? And that's we need to be accountable. That we talked a lot of shit about putting some sprints out.
Yeah, and we didn't do it. Yeah, we should honestly be, and I am ashamed because we said we were going to do it and we didn't do it. And that is kind of the cornerstone of accountability, right? Just do what you say you're going to do.
Yeah, and we didn't do it.
Yeah, we didn't. So that it's coming, guys. We're working through a couple of kinks, working through some scheduling.
We're working on work-life balance.
But it's still a premise that we think you guys are going to get value out of, and we're going to add that in as soon as we can finish ironing out the kinks. That is going to happen.
And our sprints are going to be 15 to 20 minutes. It's going to be a lot of just us talking about just very certain individualized subjects. And we might even have a little guest like pop in to really talk about that one little thing. It won't be anything about them, just the mindset talk of whatever the topic is for that week. But yeah, I want to be accountable and hold us accountable that we didn't do what we said we were going to do.
Yeah, we got to tighten up.
But
look, that's all right.
But we're having, this whole sitting in front of this microphone and sitting in front of this roadcaster and knowing like we get to tell stories and we're talking about mindset, but we're having these other conversations and these avenues that keep opening up for us, right?
Yeah.
In the podcast world, in the real estate world, and business and personal, and it's like it keeps growing, right?
Yep.
And we're having these conversations, and just stay tuned. We got a lot in the pipeline in all areas, right?
Yeah. Yep. I think you guys are gonna like some of the stuff we're plotting. We hope you do. Let's talk about season 4 briefly. I'm gonna ask a pretty rhetorical question, but what's gonna change in season 4? Nothing, baby. We're gonna keep bringing you awesome guests. We're gonna keep trying to dig into as many people as we can, and you guys have really, really, really done an awesome job up to this point, sending us hustlers. We like getting them on the show because it's people that we're not thinking of, but we talk about that 10 to 15%, that top middle section of the pyramid of people that are grinding. There's a bunch of them. They're everywhere. And everybody that's listening to this episode and has listened to any of our previous episodes, one. And we want to talk to them. So continue to send us hustlers.
Yeah, so we have some people in the pipeline, a personal restaurant that I touch base with, and it's a team, which I like. We haven't touched on that. They've already confirmed, so I guess I can go ahead and put it out there. But Mestizos in our area is owned by a gentleman and his partner, and then their general manager. So it's like this team of people that have been together, and it kind of been, I would say, the grind of the restaurateur world. And they're like killing it. They're doing really well. They've overcome some crazy feats with their business, like the flood, like it just demolished them. So we're gonna have them on. But we got some good people already in the works.
Yep, no, it's gonna be good, man. But it's gonna be the same premise, same concept. I think we've proven that there's value in what we have to say. The type of content we want to bring you in. Maybe not sitting here listening to us ramble, but we're trying to give you guys some good, applicable tips and content that you can apply in your life. That's what's important. If you're not getting value out of it, you wouldn't continue to come back and listen, and the show would just die a slow, painful, bleeding out death. But it's not, right? We're continuing to see increases in downloads, which means that you guys are sharing the show, which we are eternally grateful for. Please continue to do that. I don't think there's a whole lot more for us to talk about in the wrap-up show. We want you guys to be excited about season 4. We didn't say it at the beginning, but we'll say it now. You know, the podcast plug, guys, if you're new, please come back. And before you do anything else, see if you get value out of the show. And if you're getting value out of the show, then just help us spread the word by telling some other people. I mean, the way we grow this thing, we can do all the advertising. We can throw as much money at it as we want. We don't have a whole lot of money to throw at it. So the way we grow this thing is with your help. I mean, we need you guys to continue to spread the word about the show. And you've done such a good job up to this point. But if you're one of our long-term listeners that come back week after week, here's how you can help us. Make sure you're subscribed on YouTube. Make sure you follow the show on iTunes or Spotify, that you're subscribed on those channels. And then leave reviews on whatever podcast platform you use. That the reviews are extraordinarily important in helping raise us up the feed in the 2 billion podcasts there are in the world. I mean, there's a bunch of them. So to break through the noise, our long-term viewers, and look, if you're not getting value out of the content, don't leave us a review. That's why I say, if you're a new viewer, come back and just see if we're for you. And if this show is for you and you're getting value out of it, then you transition into a long-term viewer, and then you can go leave the review. So those are the things, man. I mean, Andy Frisella calls it his fee. That's the fee. Pay the fee. We're not going to steal it, but pay the fee. Okay?
Yeah.
What else?
That's it. We said nothing's going to change, but we're going to be accountable, and we're going to put the sprints in.
Yeah, we got to do that. That's a thing.
Yeah.
Because look, I really think there's going to be a lot of value in that. Because most people that listen to podcasts, that 10 to 20 minute window is about it, right? Because you might have an hour drive, but I know whenever I'm in the car for an hour, I don't put the podcast on for an hour. I get on the phone for 20 minutes, and then I call my wife and see how she's doing, and then I might listen to a couple of songs, and then I pop the podcast in. And
we're going to do try to do some cross promotion in season 4 with some different mindset guys and gals out in the world too. We're going to do some reaching out and seeing if that plays suit with I do listen to other people, and not just the big ones. I'm trying to do personal development. I'm not just listening to this one. Yeah,
that's right. That's it, guys. We're not going to keep you any longer than we need to. Be excited about season 4. Make sure you come back and check us out. Website's still up, www.hustlemakesithappen.com. You can go there. We still have some T-shirts available, a couple of these cool water bottles. We have audio and video embedded episodes on the website, so you can check that out. But that's it, man. Y'all be on the lookout. We're going to take a little probably 2-week break in between this and when we drop the first episode of season 4. So be on the lookout for it, guys. And as always, continue to send us your feedback. Continue to give us your reviews. We love and appreciate every one of you. Keep your head down. Keep your eye on the ball. Hustle makes it happen. But most importantly, have fun. Later.